The police force are hired to protect the innocent. But what happens when someone takes that trust and completely destroys it? This very thing happened in September 2012 when two innocent police officers looking to do the right thing were tricked into a fatal ambush. Dale Cregan was born on June the 6th, 1983 in Greater Manchester to parents Paul and Anita, the middle child of three, alongside his older brother Dean and his younger sister Kelly. However, it didn't take long after their births for their father Paul to completely abandon them altogether. Dale attended the now defunct Little Moss High School in Droylsden, where he started smoking cannabis at a young age and developed a huge interest in knives. After spending some time overseas with his sister in Tenerife, he returned to England and began collecting firearms, owning around 10. Including machine guns. By the time he turned 22, Dale had told people that he was a plasterer, but in reality he was dealing cocaine, collecting around £20,000 in profits. To add to his bizarre home life, he only had one eye, his left one being carved out with a knife. Though some doubt this story, he claimed that it happened during a fight in Thailand. But it was in 2012 when things were about to get much worse. In the Greater Manchester area, there were two well-known families, the Atkinsons and the Shorts. Neither were actually criminals at the time, but the police did know both of them.
We were aware of them, of course. There have been various small-scale tit-for-tat incidents over the years, but they weren't high up our priority list.
This bitter rivalry only escalated when Teresa Atkinson got drunk and threw a bottle of WKD at Raymond Young, who was a close associate of the Short family. After throwing the bottle, Atkinson left the pub angrily saying,
"I'm going to try and get you done by my sons."
One of which was 35-year-old Leon Atkinson, who promised revenge on the Short family, targeting 23-year-old Mark and his 46-year-old father David. On May the 25th, 2012, Dale Cregan and three other men, 34-year-old Anthony Wilkinson, 27-year-old Luke Livesey, and 38-year-old Damien Gorman, pulled up outside the Droylsden pub before entering wearing balaclavas. Thankfully, David Short was in the toilets at the time, but his son Mark wasn't as lucky. Dale quickly fired 7 shots, hitting Mark Short in the chest and wounding other associates, John Collins, Ryan Pridding, and Michael Belcher as well. Dale and his acquaintances quickly made their escape, before David emerged from the toilets to find the gruesome crime scene. He rushed to his son's aid, but sadly, he died in his father's arms. Cregan would later claim that his only regret was that he was unable to kill David as well. There's conflicting reports about what happened next. The police received a tip that David vowed revenge against his son's murderer, but David's own partner Michelle, who was Mark's mother, claimed that David promised to leave this issue to the police. But one thing was for certain, Dale Cregan wasn't finished. Dale was actually briefly arrested not long after Mark's murder on suspicion of being involved, but he was soon released on bail while the police collected evidence against him, which would end up being a fatal mistake.
It is absolutely normal in complex crime inquiries that when people are arrested, there are occasions when there is insufficient evidence available for them to be charged.
On August the 10th, Cregan and Wilkinson staked out the cemetery, expecting David Short to visit his son's grave as he had made it a regular routine at this point. But thankfully, on this particular day, he had decided to run an errand instead and didn't turn up. But this, unfortunately, didn't stop the duo from improvising. They headed to his home on Folkestone Road, where he was loading furniture from his car into the house, before they gave chase, both firing bullets his way, eventually cornering him in an alleyway behind a gate at the side of his home. David Short was very quickly murdered by the two men. Dale then detonated a hand grenade on his dying body before they made their escape.
I shot David Short point blank in the head 3 times, but I would have preferred it if I would have used a knife. I felt calm before killing David Short, but after, a big relief rushed through my body. If I'd had time, I would have cut his head off and arms and legs. I would have gone and got a knife from the kitchen and used that. The thoughts were such, I knew I would have to do it. However, after I killed Mark Short, he said he would rape my son. He said he would set him on fire. He threatened my whole family. He told me the gloves off, so I was always going to kill him.
24-year-old Jermaine Ward drove their getaway car and took them to Sharon Hark's home, who was an associate of the Shorts, where the group threw a hand grenade at her house, but would later deny attempting to kill her, though they did detonate another grenade in an attempt to destroy a rental van. They were then taken by Muhammad Imran Ali to a safe house in West Yorkshire in order to lie low. Dale Cregan later confessed to having the greatest night's sleep after murdering David Short. He was soon recognised on local CCTV, and £50,000 was offered as a reward for him and his group's capture. But despite being on the run, he and Wilkinson happily drove around Manchester, visiting several people, none of which decided to turn him in, as they believed his claim that he was simply protecting his son.
It's not hard to work out why. The Shorts being taken out was the best thing to happen to Droylsden for years. Bullies they were. Bullies and thugs. Cregan was a hero round here until he went and killed the policewomen. None of us can understand that.
However, unlike Dale Cregan, others did have a sudden sense of conscience. On August the 23rd, 2012, getaway driver Jermaine Ward actually handed himself in at the Huddersfield police station, claiming that Cregan put him at gunpoint and forced him to drive them to safety. He claimed to have been held captive by Dale and Wilkinson for 2 weeks, with them threatening to murder his brother and mother if he even thought about escaping, though they eventually released him. However, the jury didn't believe his story, convinced that he was just as guilty as the rest of them. Jermaine Ward was given a life sentence with a minimum of 33 years imprisonment. On September the 2nd, Anthony Wilkinson was located in Openshaw Park in East Manchester and arrested on suspicion of murder, but they still had absolutely no idea where to find Dale Cregan. On September the 17th, just a few weeks later, Dale visited a cul-de-sac in Abbey Gardens in the Hattersley estate, just east of Manchester city centre, the home of Alan Whitwell, who had previously cut Cregan's hair. Dale burst in demanding a haircut, showing his loaded Glock and grenade, forcing Alan out to buy them some beer and cigars. Whitwell would later claim,
I was horrified. There's no way I would alert the police. I didn't even think of the reward. If someone has got a gun and a grenade, I will do whatever they want.
That evening, Dale Cregan admitted to relaxing and enjoying several beers and cigars, knowing that it would be his final night of freedom. On September the 18th, 2012, at 10:16 AM, Dale Cregan enjoyed a bath before changing into some shorts and calling the police.
Police emergency.
Someone just threw a big concrete slab through my back window and ran off.
Of the house or a car? What are we talking?
No, sorry, my back window in the house.
In the house. What's the address there, please?
30 Abbey Gardens, Mottram.
Did you see them?
Seen one, yeah.
You know them?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Do you know why they've done it?
I haven't got a clue.
Okay. Is it a rear window, did you say?
Yeah, it's in the back garden.
Were you in the room where it came through, or did you hear the bang?
No, I was upstairs. I looked out the window and seen one boy running off.
Is it a kitchen window that's gone through?
Yeah, kitchen.
So it's just happened prior to your ringing, has it, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's a piece of concrete, yeah?
Yeah, it's a piece of concrete out the corner of a paving stone.
So it's a piece of concrete paving stone, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's all one person running off, yeah?
Yeah.
Which way have they ran? What direction?
Ran there's a field at the back, and I've just seen them running over the field. I can point it out to the officer.
Which fields? What road is the field on? Is it off Abbey Gardens or?
Kind of, yeah, but you...
Not on the other side of Ashworth Lane?
Yeah.
So they've gone toward Broadbottom Road across the field?
No. Not that. Yeah, kind of, yeah. It's weird where it is, because it's like all the gardens and then a bit of a field that you can see out the window, and that's where I've seen it.
Is it in the general direction of Mottram Church, or the other way?
Yeah, the other way.
The other way. So they've gone onto the estate, further towards John Kennedy way?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Okay. Okay, was he a white male?
He had an adult mate, so I couldn't really tell you, but...
He was a male though, yeah?
Yeah, he was a male.
You know how old he was?
No, but he was about my size, about 5'9".
Was he slim,
Medium build.
Medium build.
Medium.
And what was he wearing then?
Black coat with a hood up, grey tracksuit bottoms.
You didn't recognise him, no?
No.
And you have no idea why it might have happened?
Off the top of my head, no. I'm trying to rip my brains now, see if I pissed anyone off, but I don't think so, no.
Okay, 07425. Was he carrying anything, this lad, other than obviously the piece of stone that he lobbed?
It didn't look like it, mate.
No, 39. You didn't see anybody else, no?
No.
Your name, please?
Adam.
What's your second name, Adam?
Gartry.
Sorry, spell that for me, please.
Gar. G-A-R.
Yeah.
E-R-W-E.
Sorry, give me that again. G-R...
G-A-R.
Yeah.
T-R-W-E.
E-R-W-E?
No, T-R-W-E.
Right.
Gartry.
Gartry, sorry. That's what I didn't look like. And you live at 30, do you, Adam?
Yeah.
Okay. And you think it's an act of damage as opposed to somebody trying to break into the house, do you?
Possibly, yeah. That's what I'm thinking, because if you look through the back window, I'm decorating at the minute, so there's no curtains up. If you look through the back window, you can see the plasma, so I'm wondering if they've...
So you're thinking,
where
they broke the window, is it near a handle or anything, to open another window?
Quite a big window, actually, so they would have had no problem getting through.
Climbing through, okay.
Oh.
You sound as bad as I do.
Yeah.
Right, I'll get an officer up there, have a look round, see if they can see anybody similar, and then they'll come and see you. All right, Adam?
How long would it take? Do you know roughly? I know that it's not that serious. But...
Well, because it's just happened, it's gone in on the priority, so that's within the hour, certainly. But
okay.
They'll try and get up there as soon as, if there's a possibility he's still knocking about.
All right then, thanks very much.
Okay.
I'll be waiting.
All right, Adam.
Bye.
Bye.
Not long after, two police officers, 32-year-old Fiona Bone and 23-year-old Nicola Hughes, were in the area and were requested to check out the property. They slowly entered the front garden before Cregan quickly opened the front door and began firing. Although both women were hit, they were wearing body armor, which initially stopped the bullets from penetrating their skin. They attempted to run, but Cregan gave chase, still firing, hitting Hughes in the back and paralysing her. As Nicola laid on her front on the garden path, unable to move, Dale shot 3 more times before turning his attention to Fiona, who was trapped in front of a living room window. Dale shot 24 bullets at her. She attempted to use her taser, but she sadly missed, which is when Cregan shot her directly into the heart, killing her instantly. He then returned to Hughes and shot her 3 more times in the head, before proceeding to throw a grenade onto the bodies of the already dead women. Dale Cregan then got into his car and drove at high speed to Hyde police station, where he promptly turned himself in.
Sorry about those 2 that have been killed. I wish it was men. I've dropped the gun at the scene and I've murdered 2 police officers. You were hounding my family, so I took it out on you. I'm wanted by the police and I've just done 2 coppers.
At first, Dale refused to answer most of the investigators' questions, but when asked why he decided to hand himself over, he replied,
"Because you couldn't fucking find me, could you?"
Anthony Wilkinson pleaded guilty of murdering David Short and possessing a firearm, but all members were cleared of the attempted murder of Sharon Hark. shock. It was near the end of the trial and investigation when Dale's mother Anita admitted that her son confessed to murdering the Shorts. Luke Livesey and Damien Gorman were also found guilty of their participation as well. Anita Cregan confessed that she knew that her son had murdered the two people and that she had protected and hid him, even admitting to have texted Dale's girlfriend Georgia Merriman when he was on the run, advising her to switch off her phone so that the police couldn't track him down.
It's very sad. He told me in prison, "You need to know the full extent of this case. We got threats. The grandchildren were going to be tortured. I went in June to the police and did not get any help. He's told me he did the murders. I don't believe he did though."
She claimed that after David Short was murdered, their friend Francis Dixon came to their house to pay her a visit.
I asked him to come in, but he wouldn't. He just beckoned me with his hand and said, "Anita, we have to go now. Dale has sent me. He said, we've got to keep you safe. You can't live here anymore."
Despite this, Anita wasn't charged for any involvement, and her son Dale would apologise to his mother for his actions. The trial began on September the 21st, 2012, in which Dale would even remove his false eye in the courtroom to show that he wasn't hiding anything in its socket. Nicola Hughes' funeral took place on October the 3rd that year, with Fiona Bone's the following day. The trial was adjourned until November the 5th, but strangely, despite his confession, Dale still pleaded not guilty to murder. Though on February the 12th, 2013, he suddenly changed his mind. He claimed that his only regret was that the police officers were female, though this was discarded by Chief Superintendent Nick Adderley, who claims that Cregan had plenty of time to see that they were both women before opening fire. The next day, a moment of silence was held by the Greater Manchester Police Force at 11 AM in honour of the fallen heroes. It wasn't until June the 13th, 2013, when Dale was cleared of the attempted murder of Sharon Hark, but he was given life imprisonment for the other 4 murders. By August that same year, he attempted a hunger strike at the Her Majesty Prison Full Sutton, and by September, he was moved to Liverpool. By March 2018, Cregan was relocated once again back to Manchester, where he began bragging about his workout regime, as well as being able to play snooker and tennis whilst locked up. This entire horrific ordeal was the first time that hand grenades had ever been used for murder in the United Kingdom, and it also sparked a huge debate over whether or not the British police should in fact be armed. But that question, as well as why innocent lifesavers were subject to an unprovoked, calculated attack, remains unclear, as the world continues seeking answers.
Hello guys, this is Rob from Seeking Answers. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. If you do want to see more, please consider donating to Patreon or clicking that join button below to become a channel member. Unfortunately, YouTube's monetization doesn't really cater to the content that we make, so we do need all the help that we can get. I also realised that not everyone is able to give a monthly payment, so there is now a PayPal link in the description if anyone does want to donate a one-off payment. Doesn't matter the amount, any amount is appreciated. And if you do a one-off payment, you'll be able to request a case for us to cover, and it will really go towards helping the channel out and continuing to grow the community. Any amount is appreciated and it will go towards keeping this channel alive and making more content, going on location more. You will get perks in exchange and you will help really give this channel the boost it needs. Thank you for all of your support and tune in next week for another video.